Shine bright like a diamond. I can't do it. What's up, guys? We are live Tuesday. The red light is on. I'm here, Dave Van Auken. We have a Dawson next to us. It's not the Loveland Dearly L. She's a little under the weather. So we've had the second best Dawson, or maybe the best Dawson. I don't know. We have Grant Dawson on the show. Dude, Grant, in the co-passenger, co-pilot, the whole show. You ready for this, buddy?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready to do this. I could talk about MMA for days. So doing it for a couple hours, that's easy.
I know. Red light is on. Look at that. We like that. I guess that's a thing now. I've said it a couple times, and other people under the Fight Bananas banner say it, so I guess it's a thing. Dude, this is a big week. This is a big one. Guys, we're in the middle of the summer. July 4th just happened. The UFC had a really good event in Nashville. We'll break that down. A couple very highlights, a couple veteran guys getting the job done. Derek Lewis is in the title picture. Maybe, maybe not. It's UFC 318 week. The card is so-so. There's some cool fights underneath, but the main event is Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. For the last time, the last dance. We've been talking about this for months on months on months, especially in our circles, Grant. It's crazy. We're here. Dustin Poirier's last dance. We're here.
Yeah, I mean, it feels surreal. It feels unreal. It feels, weird almost. Like it's not gonna happen. Like he's gonna stick around. No, I'm kidding. He's not sticking around. He's not doing one more. This is it. And I think the thing that everybody is so nervous about is if he loses. They have him as the underdog, which I kind of think is crazy. It's kind of crazy. You beat a man twice, and then his last loss was Islam Makhachev, which I don't know if you know who Islam is, but he's a pretty good fighter. Yeah. And then Max is coming off of a loss.
Fourth or fifth round with Islam. Was that a fifth round fight?
That was a fifth.
And it was like one judge had 2-2.
Yeah, I had 2-2. So it was like
that's one of the pound for pound best 5'3" fighters in the world today.
100%. So it
still got it.
It does seem like he's being a little bit disrespected. And man, I've been in his camp. I've seen what he's doing. He's shredded right now. He has told us that he has not cheated, not drank, not had a Cheeto off of his diet plan, and I believe him. He looks like a fitness catalog.
Guys, for the next hour and 20 minutes, we'll talk some MMA, but also have one-liners from Grant Dawson all day long. I hope we can. I'm going to try to send this to one of those. Dude, those videos are amazing, right? From our show, Grant, the ones that Jared's been breaking down for us. I'm going to send him this, be like, dude, I'll pay you whatever you want. Just give me a top 10 one-liner from Grant for the next hour and a half, and we'll see what we can.
Well, great. Now I'm on the spot, right? Now I gotta come up with these one-liners.
Yeah, dude, literally Dustin has those, they're not even abs. They're like a ribeye. He has just ribeyes, 8 to 10 ribeyes on his chest. That's he looks pretty good. He looks like he's ready to go. We kind of talked a tiny bit off air, and we'll get into Nashville. 130, by the way, Alejandra Pantoja, the best flyweight on this planet's coming on. Jillian Robertson at 2. It's going to be a great show. But we're just here. We'll get into Derek Lewis and Nashville and White House and everything else. But we're just here about Dustin. Where's the mindset of Max Holloway? He's fought this guy twice, lost to him twice. One time tapped out, and the second time was kind of dominant. Max was there and he was throwing, but Dustin was just on fire that night. I think it was 50-45 or maybe 49-46 across the board. As a fighter, as a mixed martial artist, what is Max going through right now to try to get over this hurdle of the Dustin Poirier?
Yeah, I think there is a level of nerves both sides feel, and both sides are feeling different nerves, right? And that's unusual. Most of the time, it's I'm nervous because I want to win, and then sometimes you have a belt on the line and I want to become the champion, and then the other guy's like, I want to stay the champion. We've got a unique situation here where Max is like, this is my last chance to get one over on this guy. And the rule of fighting is it doesn't matter what happened, it matters what happens. So he could be 2-1 versus Max Holloway, and people are going to say that Max is the better fighter just because he won the last one, right? And
Sure.
so I think there's a lot of pressure on Max Holloway right now, and with him coming in as the favorite, I think there's that pressure too. Now, does Max feel pressure? Of course not. These guys have too much experience to be feeling, let these feelings affect them. But I just think it's like somebody from the outside, somebody who's looking in on a WWE mindset. This is it. The winner's the winner. Yeah. Whoever wins this fight is the better fighter.
And it's hard. I wouldn't say it's hard to argue, but the first time they fought, they were both very young in their mixed martial arts career. Of course, it was Max Holloway's debut in the UFC as a featherweight. So, it is what it is. You're a different fighter from your debut in the UFC, right?
I'm just a better version of that guy.
All right, there you go. And then the second time was for the vacant lightweight champion. And remember, it was Max, who was the 145er, just moving up kind of out of nowhere.
Right. And he looked a little chunky. He didn't look like he took it too seriously. He looked like he was showing up to make weight, not to compete. But dude, watching Max's channel, watching all of this stuff, he looks like he's in good shape. I have a feeling this is going to be the best Max Holloway we've seen. But this is also going to be the best Dustin Poirier we've seen. And it's just, the emotions are going to be so high either way. And the sad thing is for Max, this is kind of a lose situation for him. If he wins, he beat the guy on the way out. Everybody's going to be pissed at him for beating Dustin Poirier on his last fight. And if he loses, you lost to the guy on his way out.
No, I get it. I get it. I do have a thing like, do you want me to pick up this comment? Grant, did you see this one comment? I didn't know.
I can't see any of the comments.
Okay, let me push that. I don't know if it's something real or not. I'm not sure, but
I appreciate it, Don. Yeah. Hold on, hopefully. Yeah, for sure, man. And that sucks. I'm sorry to hear about that. So that does suck.
So I didn't know if we wanted to, so there you go. My fault on that.
Don's been watching me since, I've never met the dude, but he's been watching me since I think my second amateur fight. I think I was supposed to fight a friend of his or his grandson or something like that. And then it never happened. And then he's been following me for a long time. So that's, long time.
Wow. Well, there's so much. Of course, it's been 8 minutes and I haven't mentioned I was supposed to bring the trophy. Very busy. We have really bad weather here in Florida too right now, so I couldn't get it. But our 8U Bloodline team that we've been talking about for weeks on this show, Dylan's team had the championship game on Friday. They won by 10 points. They played probably one of the best games they could have played. We are world champions of 8U Port Orange track basketball, but we are world champions. I have a big trophy at home to show it. I'll bring it next week. It'll be right over my shoulder. Grant, it was a good one. But one thing you said about Max Holloway real quick is like, and you're a lightweight. You've been a lightweight for 4 years in the UFC, back in and out of the rankings right there at the end there. Max Holloway, what do you think about him as a legitimate lightweight? Like, I still just don't believe it. I just think he's done with featherweight. Volk's the champion as well. And Ilya was the champ. There was just nothing for him to do at the top there. And it's just like, hey, he's getting older, doesn't want to cut the weight. I just don't take him as a real lightweight. Is that off on me saying that?
I don't think that it's not that he's not a real lightweight. I think that there's an issue with the UFC right now where these guys, and you see it the most at lightweight, where these guys, there's so many people that are just such big superstars. It doesn't even feel like they're in the actual weight class. Like, you will never see Grant Dawson versus Max Holloway. You will never see Grant Dawson versus Dustin Poirier. You will never see Grant Dawson versus Justin Gaethje. These guys are just too famous and have too much star power to like fight the guys behind them, right? Like, the UFC would rather set up Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje 3 or 2 or whatever it is, then Gamrot's on a 16 fight win streak. Let's put him in there. I don't think we'll see Max Holloway versus Arman Sarukian. It's like there's almost two levels in the UFC when it comes to the weight class of 155 pounds. That's superstars, your Connors, your stuff like that. And then that's guys that like are good enough to win the belt, but never get a shot.
All right, we'll get back into Max Holloway in a second, but you mentioned that guy's name. I was going to start the show with this. We haven't here in Fight Bananas, I hate to say we're a pretty anti Conor McGregor media outlet, but he did something yesterday that took over the interwaves in the social media platforms and a lot of media outlets. If you guys haven't seen it or heard it, guys, go to Chael Sonnen. You can even take off this show fine. If you guys want to leave Fight Bananas for 8 minutes, do that. Come back later. Please sub the channel like always. But Chael Sonnen had literally the funniest rant in probably MMA history. Me and Grant's done some funny stuff under this platform, but Chael Sonnen goes off on Conor. Long story short, he shows his male body parts to a female rapper, and then she called him out on it, and he has a weight on his thing. Anyone that's in the comments, they've seen it. Chael Sonnen does the most hilarious spot. He talks about how you just can't not look at it. Like he's staring at his thing for 2 hours. I'm like, Chael, like what's going on? Just crazy stuff, crazy drama in Conor. That's just a Tuesday afternoon in his life, but just crazy times, Grant, crazy times.
Yeah, I mean, they say cocaine's a hell of a drug, but honestly, the drug that he's working on is emptiness. You know, I think when you're trying to fill, there's not a lot you won't do when you're trying to fill the emptiness inside of you. And for some people, that's purpose. For other people, that's God. I just think that he's got an empty hole in his heart that he is trying to fill. And I got to tell you, man, that filling it with the women, the interesting exercise things, the female rappers, all of this crazy stuff. I don't think it fills it. I think it just makes it worse. And so, you know, I hope he does well. I hope that he finds what he's looking for, but I just don't think he will.
Yeah, things usually stuff like that ends badly, and it's his combat sports career has ended badly. Like we said, you've guys been on it for a while. He's just that, like, he's not a combat sports athlete. He is a celebrity. I do think the celebrity light, to me at least, is definitely diminishing for sure, day after day, month after month. But he's doing stuff for bare knuckle, and he's still out there, and people go crazy about him. But it's just like his combat sports career is just, it's done. It's over. That man will never fight again. But real quick, back to Max Holloway as a lightweight. I saw a lot of people were talking about the comments about Gaethje and stuff. I'm not, guys, it's Max Holloway. To me, he's one of the top 10 greatest, featherweight lightweights of all time. He's one of the greatest fighters ever. Like, we are very pro Max Holloway, guys. He's fighting Poirier, so I am definitely rooting for Dustin on Saturday. But we have nothing but love and respect for Max Holloway, and he can fight at lightweight. I just don't think he can fight a 8-man roster. Like, if Max Holloway's next 8 fights is Poirier, Arman, Ilya, Patty, Grant, Gamrot, Moicano, I think he goes 4-4. And like, that's Max Holloway's been going 8-2 and 8-2 in his last, he's a 800 type of fighter, not a 500 type of fighter. So that's just my 2 cents. Do you agree, disagree?
Yeah, I definitely think if you match him up well, he's going to do well, but he's not really the type of guy that you match up well. You match him up against superstars. I really think the only name that you said on that list, realistically, that we could see is Paddy Pimblett. I could see Paddy being so famous that he gets to fight Max Holloway coming off of a loss. I think that he gets to fight those types of guys. The thing that we need to see next is him versus Charles. They had a fight. It ended weird. They're both at lightweight now. Both of them are kind of at the tail end of their careers. Let's see him and Charles, and let's see if that was a fluke at the time.
Right. But this weekend is about Dustin Poirier. One of the most beloved fighters, I think, of all time, especially under the UFC banner. Grant, do you have like a fun or unique or behind the scenes kind of story about Dustin, a training camp story, or something about a fight week story that, people don't know about? It's not out there, and a fun little story for the people.
I do have a fun little story for the people. And I'm going to throw myself under the bus here. This does not shade me in the best light. So I'm ready. I will do that for Dustin. This is a true story. So when Dustin started training with us, I was helping him with one of his fights. It was the Michael Chandler fight. I knew that Michael Chandler was going to wrestle. I am somewhat good at wrestling, so I'd worked with him a lot for that fight. And what I do, and this is the part where I throw myself under the bus, what I do is I shave my legs. And the reason why I shave my legs is it makes it harder for people to hold me down. It gives me an advantage, which is totally legal, a legal advantage when it comes to defending shots because my legs get sweaty and they get so slippery. And from that day on, Dustin Poirier was always like, your legs are so, you have to be putting like cocoa butter on your legs. I'm like, no, man, I shave my legs. And he's like, yeah, that's kind of weird, bro. And I was like, yep, it's weird, but I'm going to do it. Okay, so fast forward, he's fighting Islam Makhachev. Once again, we're training a lot together because lo and behold, I'm a lot like Islam. We're in a wrestling practice. I'm starting down. He's on my legs. I pull my legs out. I stand up and he goes, dude, you have got to be putting like cocoa butter on your legs or something. They're so slippery. I was like, no, dude, I'm telling you, I shave my legs. You should shave your legs for this fight. Your leg will like slip right out of all of his things and you'll win this fight. And he looks at me dead in the eyes and he goes, I'd rather lose like a man. And I was like, all right, okay, fair enough. Fast forward.
That's a good one.
Fast forward. He's doing great, 2-2. In my opinion, going into the third, whether it was or not, doesn't matter. He gets taken down. He can't get his leg free. Islam's got his foot, sweeps him, gets the choke, blah, blah, blah. Comes in for the Max Holloway fight. Me and him are just chit-chatting. He brings up my legs again because we were wrestling, and my legs just slipped right out of his grip. And I was like, bro, if you had shaved your legs, you would have won against Islam. I fully believe that. And he goes, yeah, I still would have rather have lost.
Oh.
All right. Fair enough. At least he's sticking to his guns. Man. You got to love it.
Yeah, that's it feels like that's a true Dustin Poirier story, right? Like he's just
100%.
He's that guy, good fight foundation. And that's why I think it's so cool. He's still got multiple wins left in the chamber. Like he's got a maybe even another title type of run, especially we talked about it on air, off air about the whole Ilia Topuria thing. That fight is right up his alley. He doesn't have to worry about wrestling or grappling. When Dustin can kind of, especially being a southpaw against Ilia, bigger, longer, more veteranship, and just don't have to worry about Islam or Habib trying to grapple him, Dustin's a tough out. Like that's a tough out. But to make that what I was getting at, just for him to be like, we're in New Orleans, I'm good, my family's good, this is the last one. It's just incredible. I and I know Grant's been making fun of me a little bit off air about it. Just like I'm so hyped on this moment. Like the fight will be great. I'm rooting for Dustin. In a weird way, I don't think the result matters that much. And I know that sounds awful of me because I am a very result-based guy. Me and Grant talk off air about like, don't matter what you do on air, on socials. If you're Bilal Muhammad, you keep winning fights, you will fight for the championship. The UFC sooner or later will give this. Colby Covington had 7-8 wins, whatever it is. And Merab Dvalishvili, he's another guy. Like, wasn't really funny 2-3 years ago, just kept on winning. If you keep winning fights, you will fight the best guys in the world and, sooner or later the championship. This fight kind of doesn't really, the result doesn't matter to me as much as just I think that the circumstances around it.
I mean, I can prove you wrong right now.
Yeah.
I can prove you wrong. This fight ends in a no contest.
Oh, well, that's bad.
Okay. All right.
You ready for this one? I think even Dustin will say this. If it's a war, like give me maybe kind of even the second time they fought, but it's a kind of reverse. Like Max just kind of beats him to the punch. He's just quicker, but they go. It's 25 minutes. It's one of everyone is standing up cheering. It's an all-timer. And Max wins 3-2. I don't think it's a bad way to go out. I really don't.
Yeah, split decision.
Yeah, the Van Royval fight. If he's Brandon Royval in it, like it's a great fight. No one thought Brandon Royval got dominated. They just thought Van just did a little bit more, kind of had the big moment in the fight. If that's the fight, but they do it for 25 minutes in New Orleans and the place is going nuts, I think
everybody wins.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. This is one of those things where it's like, who did you think won? And then the answer is the fans.
Right.
And it's definitely one of those fights where, Dustin's my boy, I hope that he goes out there and he knocks him out in 10 seconds. But then there's also a part of me that hopes he goes out there and has to fight. Let me finish my sentence. Almost a Dan Hooker style fight that they had, just so he is like, I'm going out the way I came in.
Yeah.
I got the win. I don't want to do that again.
Right. I agree. And by the way, that's one of my favorite fights of all time. Him versus.
I think that's everybody's favorite fight of all time.
Oh, incredible. All right. Well, guys, we'll get into UFC 318 with Pantoja, with Jillian, and also later on the show. Let's kind of rewind a little bit. UFC was back. They had a week off of July 4th. They were back this weekend. UFC Nashville. I know they just give us fights every week. Just sneak a contender series in on Tuesday. Started on July 1st. What are we doing? UFC Nashville was awesome. I thought the event was great. The crowd was great. The ending, it's like the Usual Suspects movie. It's an okay movie. The ending's just simply amazing. Derek Lewis walks off the crowd, balls is hot, talking to Trump, funny on the microphone, USA chants. We're good. UFC was happy with that one. Take us through the card. Grant, what were some of the highlights for you from UFC Nashville?
Well, it was really, really nice. One, seeing Wonderboy Thompson basically, even if he didn't win, he showed that he can compete.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? He's the oldest fighter on the card. I tell everybody, Father Time is not undefeated. He has one loss, and that one loss is Wonderboy Thompson. So it was really nice to see that he can still do it, especially after coming off of a loss to Joaquin Buckley. You always get worried that the chin goes when you have a style like him. When he gets older, and I think this is kind of what Israel Adesanya is going through, their style is so dependent on reaction time. And reaction time is the first thing to go when you get older. People like me who never had it, when we get older, we just keep grappling, we get a little bit stronger, so we get better with age. People who rely on reaction time usually get worse with age. And seeing Wonderboy Thompson not have to deal with that, it's pretty inspiring, I will say. It's pretty inspiring.
With Wonderboy, I saw it was the first time in 10 years he's outside the rankings. He's had a really good career. We had a fun debate last week. Is he a UFC Hall of Famer or not? I don't know if that changes and not from this last contest. Regardless of the fact, he's outside the rankings now. Do you think a guy like Wonderboy, I would assume financially successful, he's got his own gym, he's got his own YouTube channel, looks like he's doing all right. Is it okay if he's fighting the 22nd guy in the world on a prelim somewhere? Or is that just like, I hate to say, is that underneath him? Does Wonderboy have one last, he fights a good veteran and then he walks away himself? Where do you think Wonderboy's at? And you're a high level mixed martial artist. Would you be okay winning the championship in 4 years, 6 years, you're in the top 8, top 10, and then all of a sudden 9 years, you're fighting the guy who just won the Contender Series fight, and you're like, I'm still in the UFC though, and you're good, you're good enough to do it, but you're not Grant Dawson who just defeat Armand unanimous decision win in Miami, Florida. Right.
So here's what I would do. Here's what I think he should do, and here's what's probably going to happen. Okay, I'm going to give you all three.
Yeah.
What I would do is I would say, UFC, look, I'm going to stick around for as long as I can. I'm going to make as much money as I can. As long as I still enjoy this and I can say my name properly, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm fighting guys like, who am I? Like the older guys. I'm fighting the guys that are also on their way out, that are also, to retire. Are we good? We good? Something wrong here?
Yep.
Could you hear everything I was saying?
Nope. I think I froze, but.
Okay. Well, I was just saying that if I was Wonderboy, I would say, hey, give me Michael Chiesa and everybody that Michael Chiesa has beaten. That's the guys that I want to fight. I just want to make as much money and get a win streak going.
That's a 5-fight win streak right there.
100%. So it's like if I lose to that guy, I know I need to be done. If I win to those guys and I don't love it anymore, I need to be done. What I think he should do is try to get as big of fights as he can. Right. So he beats Chiesa on a main event of an undercard, or excuse me, a main event of an Apex
Yeah.
Then he looks for, hey, listen, I still got this. I beat Jeff Neal. I beat this. Give me so-and-so. Give me these big names. Let me make some big pay-per-view points, money, as much as I can. What I think will happen is he'll win his next fight against I don't know who, and then he's going to fight a 2-0 guy in the UFC that's 23 years old that will probably end up just out-wrestling him.
So yeah, that's my point. Like he can beat he could probably, I think, can beat Chiesa, Colby Covington, those type
RDA.
of guys. You probably, dude, RDA is a small welterweight. Wonder Boy looked humongous, and Bob.
No, I'm saying he beats RDA.
Yeah, he beats RDA. Yeah. And then you're right, he fights those. You know, I know Peyton Tablet's not a welterweight, but like that guy, you know, out of the
great comparison.
Yeah,
great
Chase
comparison.
Hooper type, Peyton Tablet, and Bonfim is like the high level of that. Bonfim is number 13 in the world right now. By the way, no slight to him, I don't think he's a top 8, especially the welterweight division. We talk about it all the time. He is not even close to Morales, Brady, you know, those type of guys, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, I think one thing that I would.
Yeah, Grant, I think
that storm's getting you.
we're good. We're back. I think it's me. We're back.
All right. The one thing that I would say,
my laptop, not else.
Well, I'm on my phone, so that's what you guys got to do. It's one thing I will say to that is that the people in the top 10, or let me say the top 5, top 8 at welterweight, also don't do well in the top 8 at welterweight. That's how good welterweight is. I'm a competitor. I'm a fighter. I got flatlined by a 39-year-old Bobby Green. I think things happen. I think you wake up days you don't want to do it. I think you have little puzzles that you have trouble solving. And I think for Wonder Boy to have a really, really good night, Bonfim to have a really, really bad night, and Bonfim still be able to get the win, shows his character. What do you do now? I hit this road. I'm telling you, I hit this exact road, and I made a mistake. I fought Leonardo Santos. Fight did not go well. I end up winning by knockout in the last second of the round. I get $50K, and I knew in my heart I need to use this $50K to go to a better gym. And instead of doing that, I bought a house. I paid for it in my next fight. Went to a draw with a guy that I was a minus 550 favorite against. Now I have to figure this out with less money. Right? So now what does Bonfim do? Does he say I had a bad night? And I don't know the answer. I don't know. He might be getting his ass kicked in the gym every day and he's doing all the right things. I don't know the answer. Maybe he's the best guy in the room. Maybe he needs to move somewhere else. Maybe he needs to go to America. I don't have the answer, but he does. So moving forward, that's what we see. I still think he has a very bright future.
Yeah, very good fighter. Chimaev by 7 DDP. I got DDP in that fight. This is a good question. I really want to go to Derek Lewis. We got Pantoja coming on in a couple minutes. If Islam beats Jack and Ilya, is he one of the GOATs? I will answer this one first, Grant. You can double down or totally disagree. I think Islam is one of the top 10 fighters of all time right now. So if he goes up to welterweight and defeats a in prime Jack Della Maddalena, you know, more Frostin, and then somehow if they do some kind of super fight in some kind of weight against Ilya, you know, guys, we hand him the keys and say thank you, sir. You know what I mean? If he gets those 2 wins next, he's already in that debate of John and Mighty Mouse and BJ and Chuck and whoever. You know, there's just 8 Anderson Silva. There's some of the greats. He's in that already. If he goes through Jack and Ilya, just hands up and say thank you, sir. You know?
Yeah, I think everybody else should just quit. You know, if your goal is to be one of the greatest of all time and Islam Makhachev beats Jack and then beats Ilya Taporia, get a different goal because you ain't doing it. You know what I mean? Like you got a better chance of being the first fighter on the moon than you do having beating that goal. So it's like, yeah, he's best. And I think it's one of those scenarios that's very, very interesting because let's say that let's say Islam beats Jack. He's the champion at welterweight. Ilya Taporia moves up to welterweight and fights him. Whoever wins that fight is the greatest fighter to ever exist.
Yeah,
ever. Myself included. Like we're talking I'm blanking on his name, but there was a guy in the Bible that fought an angel, I believe. And yeah, that guy's got nothing on so and so. So it's like it's crazy to see where this sport is going, and it's crazy to see these awesome fighters come up. I think people are a little frustrated with the way some of these Apex cards have looked, and maybe some of these undercards have looked. But I'm telling you guys, the UFC has never had better talent than it does right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Hopefully Pantoja will join us any minute. And the great Elle Dawson just texted you and I something where she should be taking her medicine and just relaxing and not watching anything and just chilling down. But of course, she's always working like always. She just sent into the group chat. She goes, how crazy is that a 0-1 in the UFC, now 1-1, Taliesin Teixeira, is ranked number 14 in the rankings. Grant, he's 1-1 in the UFC.
Who is this?
Teixeira, who just lost to Derek Lewis. He's ranked number 14. Like, that is the most craziest thing I've ever seen.
You know what they call a heavyweight that knows what a double leg is, right?
No.
Top 5.
We'll
I mean, come on, man.
There's one of the lines. There's 4 of them. Derek Lewis didn't move a spot. He's at number 9. I kind of want to give Derek Lewis his flowers. What a performance. And it's, guys, it is a show. It is a little bit of a travel and circus. Everything that he did before and after the fight counts. He gets a 35-second knockout. Derek Lewis could fight. He is probably 1 away from the world championship. Like, he's in that category.
Did you just say that he's 1 fight away from winning or from fighting for the belt?
Yeah.
The sad part is you're right.
No, I know.
But
like,
that's the sad part. Guys, I can fix every problem the UFC has right now. Every single problem the UFC has right now. Heavyweight, light heavyweight, and every woman fighter on the roster is not drug tested.
Boom.
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 Everybody else is drug tested. Nobody cares about those weight classes anyway. Let's get them on all the juice. We get heavyweight from 2008 again. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the funnest time.
Out here doing God's work.
Amazing. I'm looking at, so the champ is Aspinall. 1 is gone. 2 Volkov. 3 Sergey. And I know it sounds bad. Sergey is kind of the dark horse of this division. Francis Ngannou did the same thing, guys. The first time he fought for the championship, lost, then had an absolute goose egg against Derek Lewis at that time, and then came back, had that 3-year run, didn't lose, looked amazing. I think Sergey could have done that. He fought for the title against Tom, lost. Then I think it was Bam Bam, or he fought someone that he should have beat, just never threw a punch, lost. I think maybe Volkov. I think he lost to Volkov.
Yeah, it was Volkov.
And then he came back. He just won his last fight. I think Sergey can go on a good run. 4 Curtis Blades, solid mixed martial artist, gets hurt a lot. I think he hurt his knee again.
Did you say Sergey Pavlovich is coming off of a win?
Yeah.
Who did he beat?
Didn't he beat Tybura?
I thought.
Help us out in the comments, guys. Sergey won his last fight in Abu Dhabi.
His last fight was not against the tall guy, Volkov.
No, that was a long time ago.
Okay. I thought he was still off. I thought he was still off.
No. But I think he won. I'm 90%.
You're probably right. I don't watch heavyweight because I enjoy fighting.
Rosenstrike. There you go. Thank you, DC. He defeated Rosenstrike, who has fought for dirty boxing since then. That's the heavyweight division.
He did. Wait.
He beat Rosenstrike his last fight.
Okay, fair enough. I am blanking on that fight. That's
shout out DC. It was in Abu Dhabi on the prelims.
Listen, this man's name is DC. I don't think it's Daniel Cormier, but just to be safe, I'm going to agree with him.
I know it might be. It might be. Dude, we number 5 Jalton Almeida. I think he's kind of what the people in the UFC are hoping for. 6, I don't even know this person exists. I think it's a Waldo Cortez Acosta. That's the number 6 heavyweight in the world. I don't know who that is. Sorry.
Where's a Waldo?
Yeah, number 7 is Tyboria. 8, Sergey Spivak. I'm sorry. Number 9 is Derek Lewis. That is awful.
Hey,
I like this. Coach Mike, I think nailed it. Let's see Volkov Lewis too. The winner fights for the championship.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I think Coach Mike nailed it.
Yeah, let's this is good. This is good. Let's get all the bad matchups up out quick, you know. No, I'm kidding. I'm Mike. I'm kidding. I love you. You're the best. You know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy since we're on the topic?
Yeah.
I really like this Walker guy.
Yes. Oh, good point. How is he not in the rankings? He has 3 wins.
I thought he was.
No ranking. 10 Bam Bam, 11
So,
Shami Goose.
So just so we're aware, 3-fight winning streak by finish, heel hook in the heavyweight division.
No ranking.
But a guy that's 1-1 in the UFC.
Number 14. You can't make this up, Grant.
You know, there was something else I saw today in the rankings. There was an update in the rankings that I saw, and I can't remember what it is. So forgive me, but I saw it, and I was just like, this is just proof that the rankings mean nothing.
They don't. They really don't.
Was it heavyweight? Was it?
I'm not even joking, guys. This is 11 through 15. I'll be super quick. Shamil Gaziev. Number 12 is Mick Parkin. Don't know. 13, Martin Boudet. Don't know. Number 14, Taliesin Teixeira. Really bad at mixed martial arts. And number 15, Rizin Kuinev. Grant, I do this for 11. I don't know those 5 guys. I'm sorry. I don't know them.
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
And, you know, we go back and forth with fights. I'd be like, hey, didn't this happen 9 months ago? You're like, oh, yeah, this did. I watch everything. I don't know those guys.
It's not a bad thing when you don't know somebody. Or like you forget about somebody.
Right.
If there's a lightweight out there, there's always a new lightweight. There's always a younger lightweight. There's always a better lightweight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I try not to take personally, like myself not exploding or being bigger. And, you know, it's my fault for not getting on the mic and saying stuff. It's my fault for having a slightly boring style. There's always going to be a younger guy that comes in and people are going to forget. When it's heavyweight, there's only 16 fighters. So if you don't know everybody in the top 15, that's a problem, not on you, but on the weight class. It has become sad that heavyweight used to be the people that we watched in the UFC, and now you kind of groan when they're the main event.
Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Guys, make sure you like the stream, share it, do all that fun stuff, sub the channel. Pantoja hopefully will be on any minute. I don't want to bother El, but I guess that was the communication through Pantoja, but we'll see if he jumps on in a second. We'll get back to Dustin. We talked about Nashville. I think we did it. Wonder Boy Mike Davis looked very impressive on the prelims. He did fight an 0-2 guy in the UFC. I bet you that guy won't be around for long. Also, it bothers me so much, Grant. I don't know if you watched that fight. He was almost getting choked out in the first round. That Ramirez kid, you know, Mike Davis has got him, trying to choke him out. And he's like barely getting out of it. No offense at all, by the way, barely getting out of it. And then he's doing that smile and laughing thing. It bothers me so much. And I'm like that's all I want to do in life is have fun. You're in a fight. Like you're in, like, I just don't want any smiling. It's just not it really displeases me as a consumer. It's like, bro, if I was the UFC and I don't know the man and maybe this is too harsh, I would cut that guy right away. Like, nope, we don't, you're not taking it serious. I'm not taking it serious.
Right. And it's your job's on the line.
Yeah. He's 0-2.
Here's one thing I will say is in times of stress, we deal with it differently.
That's true. Good point. I'm like that too. I'm actually like that.
And maybe there was a sense, because in my head, I was like, oh, Mike, this is easy win. Mike Davis is going to kill this dude. This is easy fight.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about Mike Davis. I'm scared of the dude. I don't want to fight that guy. He's a scary looking dude. And now he's fighting a guy that makes him look small. And I don't think I never thought I would see that. This dude is a tank. And so, you know, he goes in there, maybe in his head, if I get out of the first round, Mike Davis is going to quit. I'm not saying Mike Davis is a quitter. I'm saying that you could come to that conclusion that maybe if the later rounds Mike Davis doesn't get you out of there, he starts to slow. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe that's what he was thinking.
Right.
So in his head, he's like, if I don't get submitted, I'm going to win this fight. I had a scenario where I fought a man named Derek Minner, and it was one of those things where, okay, if he doesn't submit me, I'm going to win this fight. And then he gets me in.
Minner has the tattoo on his. No, that's who has the tattoo. Oh, Darren Elkins.
Yeah. I fought Minner, and he's got a great guillotine. He jumps the guillotine, and in my head, I was like, as soon as I get out of this, he's going to quit. And then I was like, oh crap, how am I going to get out of this? And yeah, it was very difficult, but I ended up getting out of it. And so maybe there was a scenario where he thought this is a good thing. And if he sees me smiling, it might have been some mental games. But I agree with you. I think that there's no time for taking things not 100% seriously when your job is probably on the line.
Yeah, like again, I say this all the time. Like if the UFC said, "Hey, we're going to watch one show and we're going to watch you, and if you do a good job, we're going to hire you," I would definitely bring up my kids and be the joking self that I am. But I'm taking the show serious. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just going to half-ass it. I got no guys. Do you know August 20th, 2022 at UFC 278? Do you know what that date is, folks? That's the last time Paulo Costa, who's in the co-main event this weekend, won a UFC fight. I do research. It's what I do. I put a lot of time and effort, and I wouldn't not take it half-ass. We have fun on the show, and I want it lighthearted for sure, but we do our research a little bit. By the way, August 20, 2022, Paulo Costa, last UFC win. He's the co-main event this weekend. Just throwing it out there. All right. Talking about a good co-main event, Grant, someone that you might know a little bit. Your wife trains with her, friends with her. How about Dakota Ditcheva making her long-waited return to the cage for the PFL? She fights in the code. Johnny Eblin, maybe phoneless, fights in the main event. But that's pretty cool. Cape Town, South Africa. Good for them. Saturday afternoon. So we got Saturday afternoon that, and then we got the Poirier that night. 10 hours of fights.
Yeah, I love it. And it's on it's a Saturday. I get to watch fights for an entire almost 24 hours. That's a good day for me. You know, we've talked about it. I want more fights. I want more shows. I wish we had Contender Series on Tuesday. We had a crappy Apex card on Wednesday. We had a pay-per-view on Saturday. I wish that's how it would go. My life is dedicated to this. I'm super excited about it. And PFL, you know, they got a good card coming, and I'm excited about it. And they've got some good fights coming too. Dalton Rasta, he's fighting for the belt, pretty much the tournament winner. I'm excited about that fight.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm excited about what PFL has.
Their finals, I think, shaped up pretty good actually. This year they had a good, tournament, if you want to say. They have had some good stuff. Does Ditcheva and Eblin are major big favorites. They're two of the best 10, 15 fighters on this planet. Boy, girl, weight class doesn't matter. Is it any extra pressure for them just to have to get the job done or have to get a finish? Or do you think they're both so high level, they'll get it done, get back to American Top Team with more wins and more money in their bank account?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say that it's there's any more pressure. I think that they're both smart enough to look at a fighter, not at a situation, and be like, okay, this is what I do well. This is what they do well. Let's go. And I think both of them kind of have the mentality that they're supposed to be fighting for the UFC. They're supposed to be in the UFC. They can compete in the UFC, obviously. And so I think there's really the pressure is I need to perform. I don't need to win. I need to perform. And if I perform, I will win.
Yeah. I think, and we're probably a little bit of fault of it because as much as we joke and we talk about Dakota Ditcheva in the UFC versus Valentina one day and all that stuff, we as a MMA community will be better if a year from now, 2 years from now, it's okay that Johnny Eblin's the middleweight champion in the PFL, murking people, getting wins, and we're okay with it. Like we have to accept there is another promotion. Right now, it seems like they're doing okay. Maybe not as good as the UFC, but it is what it is. I think we need to sometimes we just forget about what the talent is doing over there and just like, oh, we want to see Johnny in the UFC, like him versus Costa. Let's do it. No, like he's over there making good money for himself, and just accept that there is another promotion outside the the best in the world, which is the UFC.
I mean, we want more promotions. Competition only like brings out the best in us. We don't want the UFC. Here's the issue. You have this kid. I don't even know who to use. Like, okay. Perfect example. Who Jordan, he just
love it.
No. He just fought Chris Duncan and lost. Jordan, Cage Warriors guy. Chris.
All the tattoos?
Yeah, Chris guillotined him.
Yeah. He got cut. Yeah, he's out.
Okay, but I still want to see him fight. I'm not going to tune in to Cage Warriors to watch him fight. But if he gets signed to PFL, I'm going to tune in. I think that kid still has a bright future in MMA. He wasn't good enough to beat the UFC guys. But he really didn't get a fair shake at it. His UFC debut was against a very, very experienced guy. And then he fought, who has a win over Gamrot, by the way. And then his next fight was against Chris Duncan, who gets no credit at all for how damn good he is. And then he goes out there and he doesn't do well. He gets cut. I want there to be a promotion that he can go to that I can watch. That's what I'm trying to say.
I love it. Two good questions for you, Grant, right here. They go, Grant, are those Ghost energy drinks better than Celsius?
100%. I love Ghost. Not sponsored by them. Would love to be. I've got a whole thing of Ghost energy. I got Ghost energy up there. They're my favorite energy drink. Not sponsored. Once again, I paid full price for all of them, and it was worth every penny. Super tasty. Love these things.
There we go. Ghost, we are making a video and we will tag you in around 3:30 this afternoon. Coach Mike with a pretty good question. If Dakota Ditcheva teleports to the UFC right now, what's her rank?
Okay, so are we talking about realistically or are we talking about her skill-wise? Like, what would I rank her, or what realistically should she be ranked with no fight?
Do both. Do both. That's it. Do both. First, let's do with you, Grant. It's your show. What would you rank Dakota Ditcheva?
Number one contender.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm 100%. And then, so Coach Mike goes both. So what do you think the UFC ranks her?
10. Yeah. With no fight, 10. She goes in there and knocks out whoever. Maybe they'll go the Aaron Pico route. Give her like the number one contender, like they did with Movsar, which I'm sure you want to talk about that too, that whole scenario. But you go in there and, well, he wasn't training with me this time, so it wasn't my fault this time. Look, I'm the reason we didn't get to see him versus Bryce Mitchell, but I'm not the reason we didn't get to see him and Aaron Pico.
I hear they're trying to push it back just like 6 weeks. Is that doable to you? Do you think that's a doable thing, or is that tough?
What do you mean by doable? We're grown men here. If they both agree to waiting 6 weeks, then I think it gets done. I think that's what Aaron Pico should do.
Yeah.
If I'm Aaron Pico
can't get a better fight. He can't. Right. I agree.
Right. Aaron Pico has lost one way so far, and that's by knockout. I know he had an injury. Guys, get off my back. Real losses, he lost by knockout. Movsar has 0 finishes in the UFC. He's the number one contender. If I'm Aaron Pico, I'm at the beginning of my prime. It's a tough fight, but I match up well. I go in there. I say, I will wait for Movsar. Goes in there, knocks him out. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying in a perfect world in Pico's head, gets a title shot, becomes a champion. Easiest road to UFC gold.
Yeah. I disagree with this one. They go, I think Paul Hughes' next fight for the PFL will be their bigger event. I don't know. I think a rematch versus Nurmagomedov is a fun thing, but I don't think it's bigger than, Dakota and Eblin being on the same card, because I don't know who else they can put on that card with Nurmagomedov and Hughes. They don't have another, Nurmagomedov, Eblin, and Dakota are their 3 biggest stars. Yeah, Jake Paul doesn't fight for them. Just breaking news. I'm sorry to break news here on Fight Bananas. Jake Paul doesn't fight for the PFL. Crazy.
What a waste of money.
I know, dude. A ton.
Imagine
that money. They're let's think of a fighter. Let's think of one. And I love doing this too. You ready? They could have said, hey, instead of wasting $1 million on Jake Paul to publicize our fights, we can pay Steve Garcia, Carlos Olberg, and Curtis Blades. And just like, maybe not one up, like 3 guys, 3 legitimate UFC guys, and put them in the roster,
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't do the 3 best ones, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not even split on one, put up, but give me a lightweight. Give me, who's number, I don't know. Ignacio. Be like, Ignacio, we're going to triple your pay. Come over here. Okay. Up and comer, lightweight, Steve Garcia, just some solid names.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I feel like I feel like they picked an entire bouquet of oopsie-daisies with this stunt that they did. And it's like, if you were to spend that money on 3 college wrestlers, okay, you can't grab any of the UFC guys, that's fine. 3 college wrestlers that you're going to pay, you're going to be like, look, we're not giving you $1 million a fight, but we're going to give you enough money that you guys can just train. And we're going to have events at your school, not even like in your area. We can sell tickets. These college guys will bring in a lot of people. We don't have to pay them a whole lot. Now we're making money off these college guys. We cut heavyweight. We cut light heavyweight. We cut most of the women except Ditcheva and whoever she's going to fight. You've just saved around $6 million. And hopefully now you can start getting some money going.
Crazy. I don't disagree. UFC 318, also another, we'll probably do a little bit more, Dustin. Anything on Costa and Roman? There's Marvin and also Brendan Allen, both light middleweight fights. I think that Kevin Holland, Daniel Rodriguez. Kevin Holland's trying to win Fighter of the Year. Seems like this is his 4th fight. We're in July, in the middle of July. Dan Ige versus
your boy can't get a matchup, but
that's crazy.
Kevin Holland.
Yeah, hey, just swing the whole time, Grant, and not win. So that's what you got to do. Just got to be a 500 fighter. But people love to fight that guy. I don't know if I was there in Orlando when that happened. It was Holland versus Wonder Boy. It was a great fight, fun fight. But there was a couple times that like Kevin Holland would have Wonder Boy's back just on a weird scramble. Instead of grappling or submission attempt, he would just like push him and they would like high five each other. It's just like people, you're always in a fight and damage could happen, but like to not be afraid of other sets of skills, it's a great thing.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too, because like they had that commercial, which is the only commercial that I absolutely love that the UFC plays over and over. It's Wonder Boy and Holland. And, oh, will you bring lives? Oh, that would be so helpful, Steven. Like, that wasn't a acted out trailer. They just took clips from their actual fight and played it. Like, it literally happened the exact same way. And I guarantee those guys had a drink with each other after. It was such a great fight too. Really good fight.
Christian goes, Grant, how is Marvin Vettori looking like?
He's looking like that ogre from Middle Earth. So I expect to see a good Marvin Vettori get out there. Listen, man, listen. Marvin Vettori has leather skin. He can handle a joke. The dude is an ogre. The dude fights like an ogre, and he's coming out there. He's gonna put on a good performance. I'm really excited for him.
For sure. That's a good one. It's not a commercial, it's a documentary. That's a good one.
Yep.
Grant, this is a pretty good question. They go, Grant, are you worried about guys from the PFL or ONE coming to the UFC in your decision, I would assume your division, and jumping the line like Pico?
Yes.
There you go. Grant's honest like always.
Terrified, honestly. I'm terrified of that. Like, the PFL goes under, the UFC signs another 106 dudes.
Yeah, but don't you think none of them I don't think there's one lightweight who's outside the UFC that would be cutting your line.
Really? You can't think of one?
Am I missing someone?
You can't think of somebody whose last name gets him a title shot?
McGregor?
Huh?
McGregor?
Think a little harder. A PFL guy.
Oh, Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That was.
Yeah, that dude's scary, man. That dude's scary. Like and I don't even mind like the idea of fighting him or anything like that. It's just another Nurmagomedov that's gonna jump the line, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, wow, a lot of Nurmagomedovs in there. People giving Nurmagomedov some love, man.
Well, he's the best fight. Other than Dakota Bush, he's the best 155er outside the UFC.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, how about that Dakota Bush guy? He's
pretty good.
He's good and such a good dude.
He had a great little interview, great little content for Dustin Poirier's last dance week on Fight Finesse.
Yeah.
Very good numbers. Very good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dakota Bush.
Dude, shout out to Dakota Bush. Hopefully he's got a fight coming up here soon. But man, I'm hoping that he hears some UFC level news, man. Like I say this every time we talk about him. I love Dakota Bush. I've met people that Dakota Bush doesn't like, but I've never met somebody that doesn't like Dakota Bush. And that dude, bro, such a good dude, such a gentleman. Bro, I can't say enough good things about Dakota Bush.
Cannot wait. Because of I know you're Poirier's teammate, I'm a friend, all that. Is there something in the division that could benefit you from this Saturday night, or not really? Do you think that kind of doesn't, a win or lose from either guy doesn't mess with Grant Dawson's livelihood?
Well, I'll probably be out of the rankings come Monday.
If what?
Just the way the rankings are going.
Okay. I was gonna say, is like, because isn't Michael Johnson and Daniel Zellhuber, that's a lightweight matchup? Good.
Yeah, sorry, Primo was calling me. And the only reason he would be calling me is because of a drug test.
Man, can you do it live on air, just off the?
That'd be so cool. Let me bounce off. I'll jump right back on.
Sounds good. Thanks, brother. All right, Grant Dawson's probably doing a drug test for the UFC, and look at that, perfect time, and like we planned it all week long. One leaves and another enters. One of the best strawweights on this planet, Jillian the Savage Robertson. What's up, G?
What is up? How are you today?
Doing good. I feel bad for the other person who gave you that on your eye.
Oh yeah, me too. You know, rough day for him.
How are you? How's life?
I'm doing great. Obviously getting back to sparring. Had some good rounds today, but got caught a little bit. Just a reminder to keep my hands up, you know, the usual.
People yell at me all the time, hands up and off the center line. Get your head off the center line.
Yeah. You know, it's things you hear all the time that when something happens like this, you're like, maybe I should listen to that.
Once in a while, I hear that. Well, Elle's, I think you know this, a little under the weather right now. We're sending our bestest to Elle. Hopefully she's back and better than ever soon. We'll get into Saturday. Dustin Poirier's last fight. We've I think us as a brand have pushed it maybe more than anyone. We are so excited for Saturday. But I want to go more to you. I saw some great content from you this weekend at Rise of Warrior. Saw even you a little clip on another podcast sort of someone there live. Seemed awesome. How was your weekend? How was the fights at Rise of Warrior this weekend?
Oh yeah, it was a great weekend. Rise of Warrior and Combat Night, really. There's a couple other shows that I fought on here and there, but Rise of Warrior and Combat Night were the two shows that as an amateur, I think I fought like 4 or 5 times on each one of them, you know? They were a huge part of my career coming up. So it was just, it's always good to go back home. For me, I'm from Port St. Lucie. Rise of Warriors, it's in Fort Pierce. It's essentially in that area, 30 minutes away. So I'm like, that is like where I grew up essentially. So I'm like, it's good to go back home.
For sure. That's that. Everything good on the drug testing?
Yeah, it wasn't a drug test. It was something unrelated to a drug test. It was crazy.
Very cool. Okay. Well, Grant. I was saying we'll kind of finish this weekend off, and then we'll go into this weekend coming up. Someone who does a 1/10 probably that you do, G, with outfits and some sorts. You know you're going to be on camera. Every time I've seen you at 50 of these shows, you've had 50 different outfits. Is it a thing? Do you have to plan like, okay, if I'm doing a show, if I'm going to a fight show, I have to get my outfit ready? I know Grant will wear his UFC black jogger pants and probably his hoodie, and he's living the dream. Us, high level society people, we got to get dressed up nice. Do you have to pick an outfit in front of hand and with time?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a struggle, and it's definitely something I'm like yelling at myself now of like, we either need to get rid of clothes or stop buying them, because I'm like, my closet is getting to the point where I literally had one of the racks fall down. I had like 4 separate racks. I had one of them fall down because it was too heavy. So I'm like, we're at the point where we need to take steps with this.
There we go. Okay. We talked about early on the show, Grant and I a little bit, but this is up your alley. What do you think about Fatima Klein? Good performance at Nashville.
Oh yeah, it was definitely great. She's someone who even obviously she lost her debut, but even with that performance and what I've seen of her before, I've known her on the jiu-jitsu scene for a while. So I guess I've been looking forward to her UFC debut for a while, and I knew that she was going to be something impressive coming in, and I think she's really shown that her last 2 fights. She never really even got to show any of her grappling, which is I feel like how a lot of people know her as a well-decorated grappler, but obviously her striking is a proven threat, which she was able to show this weekend.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's a very good point. Grant, I love when I put up the comments on the show. You look like Jim Carrey from Cable Guy. You get all close to it.
I can't read as it is. And remember that I'm on my phone. I'm not on this giant laptop that I bought my wife that seems to break every 3 minutes. So I gotta lean in and read, and then I'm dyslexic, so I'm sounding out the word. It's just, it's bad. It's bad. I'm doing my best. I'm doing the best I got with the gifts I've been given. All right.
Dude, you're doing all right, Grant. You're doing all right. Look at you. Another ghost energy. That's his 3rd one of the show. Will Jillian Robertson be in New Orleans for Dustin Poirier's retirement fight?
No, Jillian Robertson will be at home on her couch watching Dustin Poirier's retirement fight, probably the next morning, because I'm going to fall asleep that night.
So all right. This is the show. I'll tell the audience. Grant kind of did one on himself earlier, so I'll do one on myself. Friday night, we had our championship basketball game with my son's team. We win the championship. We're out partying all night. That means we went to Dairy Queen and had a blizzard, and it was 9:30. So we go home. I'm so tired. I was exhausted, all my energy. So Saturday night are the fights. I fall asleep around. It was right. I think Steve Garcia was walking to the ring. And I was really excited for that fight. We've been talking about for a week. I really wanted to watch that fight and see how it went. I fall asleep. I wake up around 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. I'm like, oh my goodness. It was one of those, I was scared. I was like, what happened? So before I even turned on my phone, I go out to the living room, I put on the big screen, and I watch it. I was so proud of myself. I'm a bad phone person. I'm on it every 20 seconds. I didn't watch my phone for 45 minutes to watch Garcia, Cater, Bonfim, Wonder Boy, and then Derek Lewis knock out to share in 35 seconds. So it was, I felt it's one of those things. It's tough. You feel like you missed something, Oh
yeah. And especially those fights, the Garcia and Cater fight, Garcia really impressed me. I'm like, just the way he's able to use his eyes and stay in the pocket and constantly move forward, constantly push the pace. And even in the 2nd round, Cater caught him twice, and he's just got a chin on him. Doesn't relent on that pressure at any point in the fight. He really impressed me watching him this weekend.
Question for both of you. We'll start with Grant. Does Calvin Cater fight in the UFC ever again?
I think they'll give him one more. I think that he's had that he's had that career where he's going to get the Tony Ferguson level of love. Do I think he's going to win in the UFC ever again? That one, I don't know. I still think there are fun matchups you can make with him, though. I think there's a lot of good strikers coming up that you could be like, all right, Calvin Cater, you're up.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, just real quick. I remembered what I saw this morning about the rankings that drove me crazy.
Oh yeah.
I saw this on a post, so if I'm wrong, correct me. But Bryce Mitchell is back in the 145-pound rankings. That's what I saw. And if that is true, I was just like, the dude is on a 3-fight losing streak, 2-fight losing streak, whatever it is, and going down to 135. and they couldn't think of another dude to put, like, just, it made it look weird what the rankings are doing. That's what I saw. I don't know if it's true, but it said newly ranked Bryce Mitchell. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think so. I hate to say that, but I don't think so.
Well, I hope I'm wrong. I'll try to find it and I'll see if I can send it to you.
No,
But
you're right. Grant, you're right. Bryce Mitchell is ranked number 14th in the featherweight division. You're right.
It's like the UFC rankings gets a bunch of shit for what they do, and instead of trying to fix it, they double down and say, "Hey, how can we get more hate from the fans? You know, what can we do?" It's like watching a Disney remake.
Good one. So that's bad enough. You ready for this one? Even worse. And dude, this man's been on our show 4 times. He's always been good to fight bananas. He's got his own promotion. I'm cool with Calvin Kattar. He's lost 5 fights in a row. 5. Like, UFC is the highest level of our sport. He's lost 5 in a row. Most people, if you lose 2 or 3, you're on the bubble. He's ranked number 15th in the featherweight division right now.
I've lost 1 fight in the UFC, and I was ranked number 10, and they kicked me out.
Like, what are we doing? And the featherweight division's awesome. Like,
yeah, it's not like there aren't guys that can get put back in there. You know,
that is crazy to me.
Do him and Sean Woodson, if you give him another one.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I did not mean to steal your spotlight there, G. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. No, that's actually mind-blowing that, like, to think of both of them still ranked in a division it's not like there's nobody at 145.
Right. So good.
Right.
Another one, G, we talked about earlier was Taliesin Teixeira, who's 1-1 in the UFC, just main event against Derek Lewis, lost in 35 seconds. He's ranked number 14th in the heavyweight division.
But guess who's not ranked? A dude that's 5-1 in the UFC, coming off a 3-fight win streak by heel hook.
Yeah, I was gonna. G, you had this question. They go, G, what about Walter Walker training ankles home with him, taking ankles home with you? That's gotta have a little love for Mr. Walker.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of love for that, and I feel like it's such a smart game plan in the heavyweight division because there's such a lack of jiu-jitsu. They really do. Like, I remember watching, like, I feel like a lot of these guys, it's like they don't even know how to really properly defend the heel hook. It almost seems so effortless for him because not a lot of big guys are really training jiu-jitsu, and that's why it's like you see like the Derek Lewis just get up because he's able to do it in a division like that. And that's why I was gonna say with the Teixeira, it doesn't make sense, but it almost makes a little bit more sense because it's in the heavyweight division. There's not a lot of guys up there, but in like a 45-pound division, that's where I'm like, those guys don't make sense getting ranked. It's
crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, the UFC. Also, they said Batista and Font both being ranked 8. That's crazy. They're not, one's not 7 or 8 or 8 or 9. They're both 8. I don't know. It's just crazy. Hey, we talked about it earlier. I think they do it sometimes just to, like, on a main card, be like, oh, 2 ranked middleweights are fighting, Paulo Costa and Roman Kopylov, which, like, without it, there's not a lot of buzz on that fight. Like, I'm not really high on level on that fight. I'm more excited for the Brendan Allen, Marvin Vettori fight. But I guess you can say those guys are 2 top 10 middleweights. I guess, you know, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But G, let's get into this weekend. Dustin's last fight. You know, you've had nothing but great things to say to him about him for the, you know, we took a lot of the content out of it. Do you have a story or something behind the scenes? I know being a female at American Top Team back then, maybe you guys didn't cross paths a lot. Do you have a fun story, a Dustin Poirier story that you haven't talked about on air yet?
No, I guess I'm kind of in that boat where I'm like, I've always known Dustin from being a teammate, you know, seeing him in the gym and seeing him work. But I'm like, I guess I don't talk to anybody in general. Never mind. I'm usually like in the gym, getting my work, getting out. But yeah, so I've never really talked to Dustin on a personal level.
Okay. But still, one of your all-time favorites, right? Like, you're a Dustin girl. Like I am a guy. Like, I'm like emotional about Saturday. I'm just like, it's gonna be nuts.
Oh yeah, it's like, you know, there's always gonna be like that 50K dog fight coming up whenever Dustin Poirier is on the card. So it's just a name like that to retire. It's definitely a huge moment for the UFC.
Yeah, big time. Grant's been worried about it all month. Look at him. He's emotional guy talking about Dustin Poirier.
Listen. Dave, this past month has only talked about two things, and that's his son's basketball team and Dustin Poirier. So here's my question for Dave: if you had to pick one, you can see Dustin Poirier's fight live, the retirement, the whole thing, or you go to your son's basketball game. Which are you picking? You can only do one.
It's not even a close question. It's not even a close second. It's my son. We talked about. I've turned down so many things. I could have been. I hate to say it now because I think hopefully G's seen more of it than you, Grant, about the Conor McGregor today. We had an interview with Conor McGregor on Thursday. Turned that down. We had our semifinals. We had multiple PFL events. They could have flew me out to Chicago, been at that event. It's like, nah, guys, I'm in the middle of this bloodline season. We're a good team, and it just went so well. I was debating about going to this New Orleans thing. I remember we talked about it. But just kind of been busy. Life at home's been good, so we just, I can't wait to watch it on Saturday. But yeah, the bloodline took over. Crazy. G, tell me. This is hard for a man to ask a woman this. I think even I can call you as a friend. Did you see a lot of Conor McGregor, what he was putting out there?
You see Angela Hill's post?
Laura Sanko?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, a lot of bold moves by Conor this weekend.
Dude. How did Grant, you probably never seen this. He's kissing another woman on the beach. You're one of the most like celebrity person. You're in Hollywood, Florida. It's not like you're in like Brazil, like by yourself. You're in a community. You're kissing another. Like, what are you doing for one? And then two, Jillian, what is he doing with this thing? Like, what is he has a weight attached to it? What's going on, Jillian?
Why is it me?
I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
Hey, that's scientific right there. That is science right there. Weight applied. That's science. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, man. Maybe he was trying to circumcise himself.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like just sending it to I don't know, just sending it in general randomly unsolicited. Like, how do you you're like you said, he's a celebrity. He's a huge person. How do you not expect that to get out there?
Right. The number one rule of cheating is you can only cheat with somebody who has as much to lose as you. So it's bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him.
I know. Oh my goodness. Crazy. I don't know. No way. It's not it, guys. Come on. It's not AI.
I've seen the real thing. That's not AI.
He was in the locker room with him. He knows exactly.
I'm just sitting there like.
Would Grant or Jillian fight on the White House card?
Jillian?
Like, put me on any card at this point. I'm down for it. But yeah, I would absolutely love to fight on the White. I think that's like a once in a lifetime opportunity there. It's just such a huge thing. I'm like, I don't think any fighter would say no that they don't want to.
Well, I actually disagree. I would much rather fight in the Apex. Of course we're fighting on the White House card. What are you talking about? That's a stupid question.
Yeah. I don't think there's no opponent too high, too low. Like, just to get, it's going to be the most watched UFC event in our history. Like, it's going to be ginormous. Like, to be on that card, first fight of the night against a killer. Yeah, sign me up. Like, I think I would train my Brazilian jiu-jitsu to the next level. I'll train 2 days a week. And
you gotta train your pronunciation first.
I was gonna say, you gotta say it right first.
Yeah,
I've never been high level on that. So, oh my goodness, no wonder they showed. Oh geez, yeah. You're right. That's crazy. Did you watch any? Because didn't you have a teammate on that bare knuckle card, G?
No, I did not. I didn't watch any of the bare knuckle that night. No, I was between Rise of Warrior. I got to my parents' house in Port St. Lucie at 12:30 at night. Then I woke up at 5 a.m. and I drove home to Miami and started watching the UFC card from the night before because me and Elle were supposed to have our podcast. And obviously she texted me later saying that she was sick. So I'm like, I was from the Rise of Warrior straight to the UFC with 4 hours of sleep.
Crazy. Great. And this is maybe too much of a personal question on air. It's what I do. I apologize. I believe it's your mom always. Do you have is it a niece or a granddaughter? Who's the precious girl that she posts about all the time? Who's that?
That is my niece. Yeah, her name is Persephone, and she's always like literally every fight. My parents sent me a video last time of her on a little rocking horse going, "Go TT Jillian!"
Yeah, dude, what a absolute precious girl. She's absolutely precious.
Absolutely adorable. I'm like, soon they're gonna put her in jiu-jitsu soon. Right now she's in like ballet, but I think she's got the fight in her.
There you go. I like that. Dude, like I say, with Colin and Dylan into it, and now both Colin's also doing boxing classes. Dylan wants to follow his older brother and do it as well. I'm trying to keep him out of it because Dylan's good at other sports as well. Like I don't know. I feel like he's maybe too young, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he's
too young for what? Too young for MMA?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Come on. What are you doing?
Get him in?
Yes, absolutely. What's the worst that could happen? He grows up with confidence. Like what?
Hey, he can hurt his neck. His neck can be hurt, like someone I know.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
And the word you guys know this. I know a matchmaker pretty well. I could get both of them 5-0 amateur fights easy. You know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, that's not hard nowadays. Hey, you get them to 5-0. By the time here's the thing. By the time that they get to 1-0 as professionals, they'll be on the Contender Series. The way that the Contender Series is watering down the sport so much, they'll be 1-0 with one finish against a garbage can, and they'll be on the Contender Series and then be set up. So there you go.
Hey.
Not gonna lie, I have a couple friends who are on the Contender Series this weekend, so I was like scoping out their opponents, and some of those guys, I'm like looking at their past fights, I'm like, they padded their record so hard to get there. It blows my mind how the UFC can look at like the fights I was watching and be like, yep, that deserves to be in the UFC.
Like, yeah, Grant just said, like, there's just not other talent to choose from. Like, there's so many minimal stages to perform at if you're a 1-0 mixed martial artist, and especially, let's just be honest, if you're good, like. People can know that Bella Mir, right? She's pretty dang good. It's hard to get her fight. Like you just get that pro or two pro.
I think he froze.
Yeah, I lost you for a little bit there, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone completely.
He did tell me that it was storming, so it's probably that, but.
No, Florida's been bad all week. All these last 2 weeks, I feel like it's just been hurricane season here.
You want to hear something funny? Elle and I were watching Stranger Things the other day, and it was like storming. And in the episode, like the lights started flickering because the demon or whatever was there, and like the power goes out, and then our actual power went out. And we were like, all right, that's enough TV for today. We're done. We're done. Turn it off.
Our power went out for like 2 minutes, and we had all 4 kids, and it's like they're like, what do we do? I'm like, I don't know, just play with your toys.
Just exist. Like that's what we did when the power went out. When I was a kid, we existed.
Yeah, they had no idea what to do. No idea
like the power goes out. I'm like, guess I'm going to bed now.
Right? Oh, I guess it's bedtime.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah, it was 3:30 for us in Florida. All right, guys. Last thing, we made it. Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway. Let's just kind of put a bow on the fight. We've talked about it for so much. But, G, what do you think is going to happen? We talked about it earlier. Do you think winning or losing this fight matters a lot in the long run for Poirier? Do you think, like, oh, he needs to win his last one? Put a bow on Dustin Poirier's last fight and being in the main event.
Honestly, either one of these guys loses. I hate it. So... Yeah. I'm like, we go out on a draw. No, but I would love to see Dustin be able to go out with a win. But that being said, too, I'm like, I'm so emotionally torn on this fight. I absolutely would love to see Max get another win under his belt. I don't know. Dustin obviously was able to pull it off the first 2 times. I think that I want to say it still goes that way.
Me too. I agree with you. I think Dustin's up 2-0 for a reason. I think he'll definitely win. but it's weird as much as I was insanely invested when he fought Islam because I just thought that win would mean so much, and having Islam lose and Dustin winning, like that is ginormous. With this being his last fight, like I have that pressure's off me for him wanting him to win. I know it doesn't really matter. It almost matters more for Max. Max is the one that's still going to be there and going to fight probably in 2025. Like he'll fight probably in December or November. Is it against? I don't think he fights Charles Oliveira, win or lose. I don't. I think if he loses, there's a 3-4 guys, and if he wins, there's 2 or 3 guys. I think there's a little bit difference for what happens if Max wins or loses.
Oh, yeah, I think it's bigger for Max to win.
Yeah.
Like if Dustin loses, it's like it does nothing to his career. Everybody still looks at him the exact same way. And we know even if he does lose, it's gonna be a banger of a fight.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's not like he's gonna go to away easy. So Dustin has a lot less to lose, where it does so much more for Max in his movement forward if he is able to pull this off.
Right. Grant?
I think that this is one of those weird scenarios where on an emotional level, obviously I want Dustin to win. Obviously, everybody, is torn on this. I think that as long as it's a good fight, if it's similar to their first fight, whether who wins or loses, I think everybody's like, okay, both these guys can still do it. Both these guys are going out the way that they came in. And I think you can kind of go to bed like, man, that was a close split decision that Max lost. And I think everybody's happy about that. Dustin and Max, they have a great fight. It's a banger. I think we'd be a little disappointed if, the first round, somebody eats a knee, goes down, and it's a finish. And it's just kind of like, wow, like, you know what I mean? I think that people aren't looking at who wins or loses this. They just want to see a really, really good fight for Dustin Poirier's last fight. On a strategy level and on a my own career, because it is my weight class, I'm very, very hopeful that Max loses. I don't want Max to win outside of Dustin being my friend, because now he's top 5. His next fight's going to be probably Charles. But if he loses, I could see him fighting behind and giving some of us lower guys a chance. So for me, Dustin Poirier winning this fight is 100% what I want to happen emotionally, fan wise, and as a friend, and career wise. For me, Dustin winning is nothing but good.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm telling you this, and I know he said he won't. If he loses this fight, I think there is a little part that he will debate about going back down to 145. I think he will. Ilya's up here. We all kind of know how that happened. And if he loses to Dustin at 155, who we all think is 4th or 5th or 3rd, like we think probably Arman and Ilya right now are better right now in their stage of their life. Like if he loses to Dustin, it's like, maybe I'm not a lightweight. Like maybe we can argue Max is the greatest featherweight ever in the top 3, and Volkanovski doesn't have a lot of time left. I think we can see him maybe even moving back down to 145.
Well, it's interesting too. It's like he's one good fight away from a title shot. He goes back down, he fights Diego Lopez, beats Diego Lopez, which I think he's a very good matchup for Max. Obviously I think Max would get that win, just kind of piece him up. And then boom, he's in, and we get to see Volk and Max, and we get to see who's really at the tail end of their career.
This is just me. Obviously, I don't know actually, but just basing it off watching embedded things like that, it sounds like Max wants to choose 55 more because he can eat through camp and things like that. And I'm like, which I really think if you dial it down the right way, that it could be just as you could feel just as good. It might be a lot more draining mentally to dial in to get to that 45, but it seems like it's still a possibility for him the way he talks.
I agree. He was a big featherweight, but I never felt like he was like what Khabib was doing at 155 or what even Islam was doing. I never felt that about Max. He made the weight. He made championship weight almost his whole career. He was always in title fights. So yeah. SG, we did talk about this. Mosarv got injured. He's out of the fight right now with Pico. We're hearing rumors that they are trying to move that fight. Just keep that fight together. Just move it back in time. We'll see if that happens. So, yeah, this is probably the real one. The real winners are the fans. I love it. I love it. Guys, I think we did it. Noelle Dawson today. We miss her dearly. She will be on the Ben, I think they say. Hopefully back better than ever. G, we appreciate you like always. Crazy Saturday night. It's here, UFC 318. So you're back to sparring. Does that mean you feeling good mojo about anything happening soon or not yet?
Tuesday's usually the day that if we're gonna get news, we get the news. So yeah. I'm sitting here, fingers crossed, waiting, hoping that they're talking about me in Las Vegas right now.
Have you been hearing Dean Thomas and DC on that show together lately?
No, I haven't. I'm like, Dean's always all over the place. I'm like, he has 50 different shows he's hustling with. So I'm like, I don't get to hear everything that he does.
Yeah. No, he kind of talked about you and just even about like the wins and losses. Like sometimes it's okay to lose in certain parts of your career if you're going to get on that winning streak like you're on right now. You're on that championship winning run right now. You know what I mean? So it was kind of cool to hear that. You know, no one wants to lose. Everyone wants to go 29-0, but it's not realistic. I think, especially now in 2025, especially at the top level. So it was really cool insight by him. Like, and he mentioned you about like some of those losses back in the day in a weird way were good for Jillian and because how badass you are now in 2025 and ongoing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, like you don't want to lose, but every loss has been a stepping stone into the path that I'm in now. So I'm definitely thankful for the path that I took. I'm thankful that I've been with the UFC for so long because I feel like majority of my losses majority of my fights in general are with the UFC. Like I was an amateur for 2 years, a pro for 1.5 years, and I've been with the UFC for 8 years now. So done a lot of growing up in the UFC and a lot of learning. So I'm just thankful that I've done so much learning at the highest level. That's
for sure. We'll end on this. Sean Sterling goes, why is Grant's name listed as T in his box?
Stands for testosterone. No, I'm just kidding. No, I literally got off because I thought drug free was testing me, and then I was just trying to jump back on. I was trying to type my name in, and it like selected the whole name, and then I guess I hit T by accident, and I was like, screw it, just sign in, and then I signed back in. So I'm Mr. T today.
You're Rampage Jackson.
I'm pity the fool.
There we go. All right, guys. We appreciate Grant Dawson on an 1.5 hour show, stepping up like he doesn't always. He'll step up on short notice and go to Paris and beat up Benoit St. Denis if he needs to, too. He'll do that damn thing. G, top 10 strawweight in the world, top 1 in our hearts. Appreciate you guys. We'll see everyone next week. No show tomorrow night. I don't know about Sunday morning. Hopefully we'll see about L, but hopefully everyone enjoy this week. Dustin Poirier's Last Dance is Saturday night. If anyone didn't know, make sure you watch it. All right. Have a good day.